Hello, and thank you for joining myself, Brandon Storch, and our IoT sensor expert, Jeremy Huck. Today we are here to talk to you about our long-range wireless activity detection sensor. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy. He is our expert on these IoT sensors, and he's going to talk a little bit more about how to install this sensor, what the different components of it are, and then later we're going to talk a little bit about how businesses are utilizing this technology. So without further ado, Jeremy, can you take us through this a little bit?
Yep, thanks Brandon. So this is, as Brandon had mentioned, a long-range activity detection sensor. What this does is it detects movement or vibrations or a lack thereof. So the use case that we have today is we carted in from one of our cell towers a industrial ventilation unit that we have running right now, and we'll be simulating turning it off. And then when we turn it off, it will stop moving or vibrating, so then we'll be able to detect that via our mobile app that we have set up. So with this, it comes in a NEMA enclosure, so it protects it from the elements, heat, water, temperature, any kind of industrial elements that might come in contact with that could possibly damage the unit. It also comes with a 900 megahertz RF antenna that gets screwed onto here. And unlike this sensor, unlike the other sensors that have additional probes that are coming out of it, this is all built self-contained inside of this unit. And with these sensors, depending on the use case, there are wall mount screws, as well as screws for on top of the housing if it's a consumer version, a plastic housing, as well as adhesive. So for this sensor here, we're just going to put an adhesive on it so as it's moving here, it doesn't vibrate off. We'll just stick it on the back here and simulate a stop of the equipment. We'll stick it right there. All right, and so right now it's on and running. There's a switch right here that will turn it off, and then it will then alert us on our app that Brandon has set up on the phone, and letting us know that activity has stopped on our unit here. And this should take a couple of seconds here, so it's
the
fairly instant.
Fan shut down, slowing down. You mentioned that, so this was detecting motion previously. Once that motion stops, it's going to alert the gateway and essentially alert my cell phone that this fan has stopped working. So we'll give it a couple seconds for the fan to stop spinning.
Yep, I don't feel anything coming out of it.
All right,
so we'll look in our phone here and
should have a notification shortly.
I see something flashing.
There we go. All right, so we got a notification that our equipment has stopped working. No more motion has been detected. So that worked very, very slick.
Yeah.
So it was detecting that it was moving before and that it's not now. What sort of technology does it utilize to do something like that?
Yeah, Brandon. So this uses technology that we're actually familiar with today that comes in any smartphone that you would buy. What it has is built into it, what it uses for detection is a accelerometer. So in this case, like you would have in detecting your steps for an app or movement on your phone place to place. Exactly what this uses inside, except it just comes with an industrial closure, something that you would use for something like this. So not too far off from what we use today.
Wow, very, very cool. So that worked extremely fast. We now know that our fan isn't working anymore. How could this make an impact for businesses? How are you seeing this used out in the field? What sort of
you know, on our journey here as we visit businesses, especially in industrial type of sensor, whether it's a cheese factory, or maybe a steel shop. There are some here locally. Or also just as we had gotten this from a cell tower, making sure that air is circulating, making sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do, making sure that air is flowing to the right areas that it should be.
Excellent. So really this is going to ensure that a variety of different machinery that spans across many different industries is functioning correctly, because the impact of, for instance, this unit here, this fan not working, temperatures could rise on machinery, and that could cause failure. That could cause products to stop working, machines to shut down, loss of production. So obviously having a sensor like what Jeremy showed us today could be huge to a company's bottom line. A really good preemptive measure to ensure your machinery is running correctly.
Fairly low cost for something for employees or health risks or loss of material or production. So.
Excellent. Well, thanks again. Again, this was our long-range IoT activity sensor. We were joined today by our IoT expert, Jeremy. Thank you for coming out today, Jeremy. With that, that'll conclude our video. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please be sure to check out our other installation and use case videos that we have created. You can find the hyperlinks for those below this video from our YouTube channel. Thanks again.